Hey, what's good, everyone? It's your boy, Matt Diazmo, coming at you with some new music discussions. Yeah, today I am checking out a band called Z.O.N.E with their EP, Zero Option, Nuclear Ending. A little background on this band is that they are from New York, New York City, and they play a style of metallic crossover thrash hardcore. And from what the band has described themselves, you'll like them if you're a fan of Audial, Terrorism, C4, The Explosion, Nuclear Holocaust, and Event Horizons. And with that crazy description, I gotta say, the way that the music's being created here kind of matches that weird description they have here because it is an audible assault on your ears in a good way because it is a very terrifying and soul ripping EP. And so I want to break this down for you and tell you how I feel about it, and you should definitely check it out. So let's get into it. If you've ever wondered what Power Trip would sound like with more of a 90s grunge aesthetic to it, I would say look no further than this band because this New York thrash band is doing a really good justice towards thrash metal with their groovy riffs while adding a lot of spice to their style. And I say a good example of that is on the song Poison Slow, the opening. It's got some really good thrashy like riffs and that are very groovy and reminiscent of Power Trip. So I'm gonna play a clip of that for you. Tell me that doesn't remind you of Power Trip. And I think what really helps this band stand out or make people want to talk about them a lot is that they add a lot of distorted vocals and weird elements throughout the songs to give the songs a really nice, unique feel. Like either like metal scratching sounds, police sirens, or just rain to really create an ambiance. And I think it makes sense because it gives it that feel of like post nuclear warfare feelings with these little added bits, and it's doing a really good job of creating a nice atmosphere. And I would say on the song Site X, there's a really good sample of using those weird sound effects to add some extra oomphness and flavor and flair to the song. So I want to play a clip of that for you. Such nice added little touches there to make the songs feel more fleshed out. The guitars on this album are surprisingly very thrashy and groovy, as I've shown with previous clips, but also they have a real aggression to them. They feel very raw and angry. So they find a good striking balance between thrashy and groovy and aggressive and heavy. So it's pretty well made guitar playing here, I think. The drums are being played quite dynamically here, but in a way where like if you're not really paying attention, you don't notice how like they do like subtle things like if I'm correct, it's called like ghost playing, where they're hitting like the snare twice without you really realizing it. And just they're very, very subtle and very like smooth throughout this whole EP. And I really enjoy how the drums are being played with this band, particularly on the song Homemade Banshee Warhead. The drumming is very, very subtle but very intense. So here's a little clip of that for you. He's just doing little subtle tastes that are like very, very nice. And maybe I'm not the smartest when it comes to these reviews or knowing about music, but I feel like the bass didn't really add a lot to this band. So I don't know if there was a bass player or if there was enough bass added, but it never really felt like I felt some bass while listening to this EP. And another thing is the vocals. He's really good at doing his harsh, lower register kind of vocals, but at times he does sound like he's a little winded, and I can see the way he's singing. Maybe he's not singing the most proper way, but he does sound tired sometimes throughout this little EP. So Z.O.N.E is one of the newest hardcore thrash bands that's been talked about a lot lately, and that's why I was able to pick up on this EP, because so many people were kind of talking about, hey, check out this band, check out this band. And I think the band is living up to their hype because they have a very groovy, heavy style with some really unique sound effects and just play styles added throughout the EP to give it that whole nuclear holocaust feeling. And I think they were able to execute that style of what they wanted to do by creating a small, I don't know if it's a concept album, but they were able to keep their concept consistent throughout this EP. So I would say if you're looking for more of a darker version of Power Trip with like a really destructive feel to it, I think this band really does a good job of covering those bases. And so I would say it's a very, very delightful EP to listen to. So I would give it a decent 8.5 out of 10. Yeah. So one of the newest hardcore bands that are coming out here, probably going to get more and more recognition over time. So don't snooze. Check these guys out. Links down below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And like always, I'll see you in the pit. Yeah.